Hi darlings, thank you so much for joining me on the Creative Retreat channel today. And today I have a Bible journaling process for you where I am going to create a mini booklet in order for me to just jot down some notes and some prayers. And also I wanted to define some words. And so I know you saw me last month do this with the cards and I kept them all individually, but I thought it would be fun to create a little booklet that I can go through the month and kind of carry with me as a bookmark in my Bible. And that way I have somewhere to jot down those things as I'm going through the Creative Retreats devotional. As you can see, I've already started working on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you on fast forward. I will be using some of the digitals, also some of the actual physical things that came with the kit. And I've already cut down and fussy cut all of the first page of the digitals that comes with all the decor. So let's go ahead and put you on fast forward and let's dig in. Okay, darling, so this video is going to be on super fast forward because if not, it would have been extremely long. The first thing I do is pull out 2 craft envelopes that I had in my stash, and then I grab all my Creative Retreat washi to pick a couple of them that would match with the kit. I actually loved this gold one, and I thought it would be perfect to just add a little bit of accent. And what I'm going to do is adhere both of these craft envelopes so that I can have a flip out in this little booklet. So I adhere it on one side and then another, and I add washi tape to both sides. And then after scoring this to make sure that I have a good hinge, I have my booklet, and I love how this can unravel like that. What I'm also going to do is grab my 1-inch hole punch, circle punch, and I'm gonna kind of punch halfway to create a little knob so I can pull open. And then I'm going to start on my title page or my cover. For my cover, I knew I wanted to use all of these pretty swatches and I wanted to layer them. So what I'm gonna do is cut those off. And then I'm going to find a pattern that I like. I want to add the title from the glossy stickers, Heartfelt. So I want to make sure that I'm using colors that would match. Once I pick the order that I want those, I start adhering these down. So the first layer, I'll start with the top layer first because I'm going to be tearing and adding these layers. So I really wanted this tear effect because it'll add a little bit of contrast between the layers, but also I thought it was just a fun kind of textured way. This is printed on just regular copy paper. So these envelopes are actually making it more sturdy. So I love that. I'm going to go ahead and add my purple layer, and I'll add my last layer at the bottom. I love these florals, and so I really wanted to feature them fully, so I added those at the bottom. So after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess pieces of paper on the side. And then there is my first page. So I'll come back and do the title later. Now I'm going to work on the inside. So looking at these journaling cards, I was going to keep them like this, but I ended up with just cutting them down because I knew I wanted to use different pieces of those on different portions of this booklet. I'm going to use some paper that I had in my stash. This is some cardstock. I measure out the face of each one of the portions of the envelope, and then I'm just going to cut down these papers. This one had some lines, which I thought was perfect for some journaling. So I cut that down in a vertical way. That way I can use those lines. And then after cutting down all of those different pieces, I now have enough faces or enough mats so I can add to each portion of my booklet. So I start with the first one, and here I'm using this grid pink. I am sure that in your stash you probably have tons of colored paper, cardstock, even leftover digital printables that I also use here from other Creative Retreat kits. This is a great stash buster. So you can go ahead and pull out all those matching colors that would go with this kit and use them for a booklet like this. So I add that pink one to 2 of them. And now I want to add the journaling card that has the key verse for this devotional. I want that at the beginning of the booklet. That way I can refer back to it. I love these glossy stickers that come in the kit this month. This is something new. It's replacing the little flare buttons that usually come with the kit, but I really love these. So I add some of those. And now I'm gonna add that journaling, the journaling line one. And as you can see, those lines are perfect. So here, as I was doing my Bible study this morning, I really zoned in on what God wants from us. So I wanted to create a section where I can journal about that, about what I gathered from the devotional and my study time about what God wants from me, that is, from the devotional. So here I stamp out with the sketchy alpha, what does God want? And I left some space for me to do some journaling. This is another paper, this yellow mustardy paper that I had in my stash that I also used to make some backs. And now here in this specific section, I wanted to create a little mini flip out with the journaling cards of the kit. So here I'm just adding some washi to also create another hinge. And this I'm going to attach right here to this face. And I love that I was able to add even a mini flip out here. This is just creating more space for me to add more journaling. I wanted to do a word study, so this is where that is going to go. And so here I'm pulling out another journaling card. This is actually from the Refuge kit. And I still had this journaling card left over. I don't throw any of my digitals away. So here I'm just going to create a tab. I'll punch out a little tab from the leftover cardstock I had. And I'm going to be able to add the tab from the digitals and create another tab. And this is going to have a little pull tab for me to open up the flip out. So I'm adding that there. And so now I can go ahead and add that My Refuge journaling card from another kit. And as you can see, it matches. So what I'll do is I'll pull up my ephemera from the digitals and find a piece that will match perfectly to go there. Okay, so I find this heart one that I thought was perfect. I thought about adding something else, but I'm just gonna start here and then I can build on it as I'm going on through the month. So I'll add that to the top of here. And now I can work on the next portion of the booklet. So I'm gonna grab another piece of just cardstock that I had in my stash, and this is going to be the start of my prayer section. And so here I'm gonna grab my 1-inch circle punch again, just continuing to cut out that punch for the knob. And then I'm gonna use the My Heart journaling card from this kit. And just gluing that down. I knew I wanted to use this section for prayer, and I thought this journaling card was perfect. I'm going to grab some of the faith-filled digitals that I think goes perfect with this section. Some florals, that phrase, and I'm just layering pieces that I think would look good here, and that of course goes with the section of prayer. I'm going to grab this little heart, add that at the top. And then just to add a little bit more pink to here, I'll tuck this in right behind this phrase. So that wraps up that section. Now here I was going to use this journaling card, but then I remembered that I may want to do some verse mapping. So I'm gonna use this card instead that has space for journaling instead of using a journaling card that does not. Now in the inside of this little flip out, like I said, I wanted to do a word study. So here I'm going to stamp out the word Hest, which is the word for love that is used in the verse of Hosea 6:6. And as I was studying, I dug a little bit deeper in the type of love that God was referring to. And so I want to do that word study there. Now I'm going to work on the back of here. I grab one more paper, and as you can see, this is a paper that has also been used up. Use your scraps, use your stash to do these type of projects. It's the best way to keep it frugal. I'm going on a Bible retreat this month, so I wanted to be able to have somewhere to jot down my notes and prayers and everything together. So I'll actually be taking this with me to the retreat so I can still work through it. It's a great way to have something where you can Bible journal on the go or journal on the go. So here I'm using a glassine bag to add this to the front. It's gonna really make the Heartfelt sticker pop off the page. I'm gonna attach that with a tiny attacher, and then I will be adding a little yellow and purple heart from the cardstock stickers. Again, I cannot wait to take this with me. I love that I created this, that I will be able to have something portable to have my notes from this devotion. That is it, darlings, and I love how it turned out. So I am actually going to be taking this, as I told you, with me. So I'm going to have my booklet where I'm going to be able to jot down my notes and my prayers and do my word study, and also take my devotional with me. I'll also be doing some Bible journaling pages, but like I said, these Bible journaling pages will be when I am back in my craft space. So let me just give you a last look at what this looks like so far. I'll do a last flip through at the end of the month here on this channel. So I did add off camera this little clip that I have. I just have a stash of them. This is just going to keep it closed for me. I love the front, super simple. Here I'll probably add something else, but I just added the pieces that I knew I needed while I was gone. So here I have key verse that I use the cardstock alphas to add there, and I have the key verse of the actual devotional. I have some space here because I did have some reflections from my Bible study about what God actually wants from us. So I knew this was a space that I wanted, so I can journal there. Then I have this middle part here that flips open. During my Bible study, and I was reading through the commentary, and the actual word love, it is something I wanted to define within here. And so I have some space to do that here. And then the last section here is a section for prayer. This I'm going to save for the end of the devotional. I love to start and end my projects and my devotional study times with prayer. So this is going to be a prayer after all of my study and going through this through the month that is going to tie all this together for me, my prayer to God of what I want to gain and reflect on and grow in after the devotional. On the back here, I have some empty spaces as well. Here I have a journaling card that I can easily use for any other maybe definitions, or if I want to do another word study, or if I want to do some word mapping like I did last month. I also have, is the very back, so I'll probably leave this blank, but I have this one, like I said, as well, that I can use and maybe add another journaling card to study more later. So that is it. That wraps up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Something fun that you can try out in your own Bible journaling time. And that is it. Thank you so much for joining me here on the Creative Retreat channel. I hope you consider subscribing, and of course, just hitting that notification button so you can know when the rest of the ladies are going to go ahead and add their videos here of all the projects we're going to be doing this month. Thank you so much for joining us each and every video, darlings. God bless. Bye.